Good evening. I'd like to call the Budget and Appropriations Committee to order at 5 o'clock. Thank you, Councilor Conti and Councilor Kovas, for all of your help, your support during these last several weeks in a truncated and abridged season. Tonight, we're simply going to read the budget into the record. I wanted to open it up to you, gentlemen. See, do you feel we should vote it out tonight? And then just have it ready, any changes we can make Tuesday night on the floor? Or do you think we should just read it? Councilor Kovas.
My suggestion would be to read it and vote it out tonight, because otherwise, wouldn't we have to at least read the motions again to a certain extent and then vote on them anyway? So in any changes, significant changes, I feel there's value in having that discussion and making those changes before the full council, specifically for like the cuts that.
Okay, Councilor Conti.
So I was reading Cynthia Amara's message to President Cooper about reading of ordinances before action that was dated June 16th, 2020. And this is in light, Mr. Chairman, about reading the budget into the record. She's saying in her message to the president that the reading of a proposed ordinance verbatim is not required. And I'm not so sure that we really need to read the whole budget into the record. I think she's saying that she reviewed a legal opinion from Solicitor Lee in 1994, and that there is no specific requirement, and I believe there's no specific requirement that we need to read the budget into the record. But she says there is not a problem with making a motion to waive the reading. And she's saying that somewhere in here, she says, making sure that the pertinent items are covered. In other words, what Councilor Kovas was just talking about on the changes certainly should be covered. But I don't think, Mr. Chairman, we need to read the entire budget into the record.
Glad to hear you both say that, because here's what my thinking was, and this is what I wanted, because we can't talk about this other than in this forum.
Correct.
So my understanding is that the fact that it's, I think we always kind of did it as a courtesy, reading every single line, 2021 requested, recommended. I don't think we need to do that. I think the fact that we have the document, we have the budget book, that's it going into the record. So what I'm going to do tonight is we're going to read, there are certain motions. I'll read the motions and we can vote on the motions tonight. Okay. Councilor Blair, thank you for joining us. We're just having a discussion relative to the need to read the budget itself into the record. I think I believe that this committee has decided tonight we're going to read the motions and vote the motions out of the committee tonight. Councilor Conti referenced the city solicitor's opinion on, reading everything into the record. So we'll take it from there tonight. We'll just read, we'll vote the motions out. We'll have them ready for the full motion on the floor Tuesday night if we have to read it, if the decision is made. But I tend to agree with Councilor Conti. I was speaking with Jeremy earlier, Jeremy Stoll, and he shared the sentiment that Councilor Kovas, Councilor Conti, and I shared as well. So that's where we're at. And Rick, would you be able to forward that to Jim Jones at AACS?
Yes. In fact, I think I can share it. I think I can actually share that message.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just have that conversation now, and because this shouldn't take more than a half an hour to read.
Well, I'd like to show you. Let me share it with you, okay, so that you can see what I'm talking about.
I read it, but I'd love to see it again.
Yep. So I've got it up on my screen. And I'm going to try to share my screen with you. And it's this message right here. So can you see that?
Yep.
See right in here, she's saying, Lee stated December 1994, outlining a process for waiving the reading of a proposed zoning ordinance. And I don't see any difference between the budget because the budget has been online since the mayor presented the budget to the council. And this process, I mean, she says, in her opinion, that there's no such requirement currently exists for the reading of an ordinance. If there's no requirement for reading an ordinance, there's no requirement for reading a budget, particularly where it is online for everybody to read 24/7 since the mayor introduced it.
I tend to agree with that. Peter and Todd, what are your thoughts? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it completely makes sense, and that was the point that I was going to bring up, is that it's been available on the city's website since for a month now, almost.
So I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Not being on the committee, I would agree with the committee's decision not to read it.
Okay, very good. Before we go on, and I do just want to take a second and thank Virginia Stewart for all the work she did on this today, Deb Gould, Jeremy Stahl, everything that they did. But I really want to thank Jim Jones and AACS, and I will thank them again Tuesday night, to be able to do this whole Zoom setup, get it out. And I know, Todd, you've been very instrumental in that as well. But Jim, you and AACS have always been a great partner, so certainly appreciate that. All right, all of these are from the docket of June 2nd, 2020. I entertain a motion to you know what? Let me ask you guys this. We have the motion to appropriate the $150,000 from the stabilization fund. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to read that anyway, and then we can make that cut on the floor Tuesday night, I think. So let me go through. I entertain a motion to appropriate $150,000 of stabilization fund from account 8455 stabilization fund to fund fiscal 2021 general government annual budget.
Second.
Thank you. We're going to end up striking this anyway, but let's at least have it read in, and then we have it and we can strike it. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I entertain a motion under the provisions, Chapter 44, Section 53E.5, as amended, to approve the expenditure limits for the following revolving funds outlined under Chapter 20 of the revised ordinances of the City of Attleboro for fiscal year 2021.
Second. Do we need the whole thing?
That one I think you have to read.
All right.
I think
In fact, I'm gonna share it if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, here it is.
Love it. All right. Fund 2601, police replacement of vehicles, $280,000. Fund 2602, off-street parking, $250,000. Fund 2603, protective inspection services, $250,000. Fund 2604, residential special waste disposal, $1.3 million. Fund 2606, council on aging, $20,000. Fund 2607, Cape and Park Zoo, $1.5 million. Fund 2609, fire alarm system testing, $40,000. Fund 2610, fire ambulances, $1.3 million. Fund 2611, health immunization, $10,000. Fund 2614, recreation, $200,000. Fund 2615, animal welfare, $6,000. Fund 2616, police false alarm, $50,000. Fund 2618, animal shelter building, $20,000. Fund 2619, fingerprinting, $5,000.
Second.
I will ask if there's any discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the solid waste fee of $234.12. This is an increase from fiscal year 2020.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the solid waste fee of $60.79 per unit to be credited to Fund 2604 residential special waste disposal for fiscal 2021.
Second.
Any questions, concerns, thoughts? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I entertain a motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the water fee of $5.15 per 100 cubic feet. This is an increase from fiscal year 2020. This rate applies to consumption on and after July 1st, 2020.
Second.
Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. I entertain a motion to appropriate $320,345.72 from account 6100-359000, Water Enterprise Fund retained earnings to the fund fiscal year 2021 Water Enterprise budget.
Second.
Any questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none, all
Just-
those.
I'll just make a comment that I wish that we didn't have to do this, that I wish that water department was able to function without having to drain the retained earnings. And that concludes my comments.
I don't disagree at all, sir. Anything else? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the water fee of $9.60 and $10.50 for per 100 cubic feet for residential and industrial respectively. This rate applies to consumption on and after July 1st, 2020.
Second. I do have a comment too.
Yes, Todd.
So on Tuesday, if we make changes to this in order to reduce the rates,
Yes.
are there other things that we have to adjust and take into account within the water budget as part of making that change?
Yes, so I think Jeremy's going to be here Monday night. I asked him to join us Monday night. I think this is part of the discussion we need to have Monday night because
Okay.
let's just use that dig safe position.
Yep.
If
That too. Yeah.
we decided we wanted to cut that dig safe position, that's going to influence the rate.
So we should come on Monday night with a list of what if scenarios to talk to Jeremy and Deb about. It's
Correct. So part of the discussions I've had with both Deb and Jeremy is just along those lines based on a lot of the discussion that we've already had. So
Mhm.
I know Deb's working on it. I think she's working with Jeremy. So we'll have that for Monday night.
should we have a couple courses of action for them to sort of work out, like if we cut the rate by 10 cents, by 50 cents, like to sort of figure all of that out with and without the dig safe person, so that we can make those changes quickly on Tuesday. Second question, another question along
So
those
before
lines.
you move on, if you don't mind, let me just
Yep.
answer that first one. What I would suggest, and you have every right, especially as the vice chair of this committee, to send an email to Jeremy and just say, hey, here's what I'm gonna, and Deb, Monday night, I want to raise these two concerns, or however many they are. And then just, they'll be able to get that information for you.
Okay, and just to throw another monkey wrench into what we're doing, what we discussed about voting these out tonight. If we vote these out tonight, will we still be able to have a conversation within the committee about those scenarios if they're before the full council and voted out of the committee? Is that going to be a problem for us?
The measure has to be in front of the council. I mean, it has to be in front of the committee.
Yeah.
So once we vote it out. So if you want to remove your second on this one,
Yeah. Let's hold anything that there might be discussion. Let's hold on to for a few minutes until Monday. Okay. So I remove my second. Yes.
okay. Okay,
Sorry.
no worries.
That adds to your paperwork to keep track of what we voted out and whatnot.
Okay,
No, it's okay. You just withdrew the motion.
right.
Okay.
All right, I entertain a motion to appropriate $305,704.93 from account 6000-359000 Wastewater Enterprise Fund retained earnings to fund the fiscal year 2021 wastewater enterprise budget.
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Again, I am disappointed that the wastewater retained earnings are being used to fund the operations of the wastewater department, and I would like to see that corrected in the future. And that concludes my comments.
Duly noted. Thank you. Any other questions, thoughts, concerns? Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. From the docket of June 2nd, 2020, I entertain a motion to appropriate $61,919.06 from account 6000-359,000 wastewater enterprise fund retained earnings to fund the wastewater betterment share of debt in the fiscal 2021 budget.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Motion passes. I entertain a motion to transfer $834,054.28 from Fund 6100 Water Enterprise Fund to General Government Fund to fund the indirect costs for the fiscal 2021 expenses.
Second.
Any
Mr. Chairman, has this been finalized?
So I believe so, because Jeremy and Virginia were working on this today to make sure that we had the most accurate numbers.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments or concerns? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. One moment, just making a note. Okay. I entertain a motion to transfer $639,656.54 from Fund 6000 Wastewater Enterprise Fund. Oh, sorry. Yep. I think I lost my place here. Hold on, gentlemen. Do we do the wastewater?
Doing wastewater now.
Yeah. Let's see. I think there's an error here. Oh, no, forget it. Okay. I entertain a motion to transfer $639,656.54 from Fund 6000 Wastewater Enterprise Fund to the General Government Fund to provide funding for indirect costs for fiscal year 2021.
Budget. Second.
Okay, so the previous motion for the 834-5428 was for this from Fund 6100. This is from Fund 6000. So that was
Previous vote was for water. This is for wastewater.
correct.
Mhm.
Okay.
It,
Yep, Todd.
so when you talk about this being finalized, is it finalized with the new indirect cost analysis and based on that, or are we waiting for next year to use that analysis?
My understanding is they had to go back. They weren't completed at the time this was submitted, so that will be used in fiscal 2022.
Got it.
So was it because what happened there?
My understanding is it wasn't completed. There were some areas that were still incomplete that they had to go back. Jeremy talked a little bit about it, and Deb talked a little bit about it, but they talked to the DOR field rep who said we can still use the 2015 was the last one? But the previous one before this one, they were able to use.
So that one is a little bit more onerous to both the water and the wastewater department than this one. Am I correct?
That's outside of my purview, Counselor.
Okay. We need to move forward. We don't want to hold it up.
Correct. Because I don't believe that the current one, they're still working on the current study right now. The current indirect fee study right now is what my understanding is.
So will you just make a note, Mr. Chairman, that when it is finalized, that we get a presentation about what happened?
Already vest.
Thank you.
And part of that too is I asked Jeremy to, and we talked, we're going to go and we're going to hold each other accountable to the quarterly updates that used to happen that fell by the wayside. So Jeremy's very excited to be coming down every quarter to present to us, and this will be part of that discussion.
That's great.
Good conversation. Thank you. Any other comments?
I'm ready for a vote.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None? Motion passes. I entertain a motion to approve the request of the mayor to submit the proposed water and wastewater budgets for fiscal 2021.
Second.
Thank you. I'm going to waive the reading. I'll just read the bottom line for each. 2021 requested is $10,109,919.63. The 2021 recommended was $9,699,623.10. That was for wastewater. Thank you, Counselor. For water, 2021 requested is $7,185,762.34. The 2021 recommended is $6,967,008.94. Any discussion?
Need a second.
It's a second.
I thought Todd already had when I waived the reading. So Council Cobus with the second. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Please do.
I put it up on the screen because I think that it is commendable to both the wastewater and water department to be able to be function basically on a level budget in spite of salary increases in both departments. But it's eating into the reserves. And I want the public to understand that if there are taxpayers watching this and listening to this and looking at this screen, I want them to understand what's going on, that the level funding is eroding the retained earnings, which are put in place to be able to handle any emergencies in either department. And if those go, we're in trouble. That concludes my comments.
No, I think those are great comments. So I think, and I had a conversation with the mayor a week or two ago, and we were talking. Peter, I'll recognize you in 1 second, my friend. I had a conversation with the mayor, and I said, look, if the rates have to go up, the rates have to go up, but we need a picture painted. And I think you did a better job right there than the water superintendent did. I thought Mr. Hayes did a fine job explaining what it was, walking us through capital concerns, project concerns, unfunded state mandates, the increase in fees of regulations, including chemicals and whatnot, right? I was very disappointed to read the email from the water superintendent saying that she was getting disparate treatment, that other department heads, you've got a $7 million budget. We're gonna ask you a lot of questions, and we asked questions and, oh, I don't have that, or I don't know. Well, that's not acceptable to me. So I'm going to reiterate this on Tuesday night. If the rate needs to increase, let the taxpayer know why. It hasn't been raised in how many years? That's not good enough for me. It's just not good enough. So I'm going to get off my soapbox here. Councilor Blair.
Just a quick question, Jay.
Yes, sir.
If and when you make cuts, committee recommends cuts.
Yep.
Water department in particular.
Yep.
That will affect the rate also, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so, and that'll come Monday?
Monday we'll have that discussion.
Okay, thank you very much, Jay. I just wanted to be on board.
Thank you, Peter. Councilor Cobus.
And the one thing, so I very much agree with everything you said there, Jay. And the one thing I'd like to add, though, is when the water superintendent came back to talk about the TTHMs and the Wading River issues that we're having in the city. When she first came before us to talk about the budget, I wasn't sold on the rate increase. After she came back and talked about the TTHMs, I am now a little bit more open to voting in favor of the rate increase. So because I do think the safety of our water and finding a solution to the TTHM problem is incredibly important.
Council Cobbs, I couldn't agree more. I thought that presentation was good. There's no question in my mind that Courtney knows her business. There's no question in my mind that she understands this, but it doesn't have to be so combative. And that's part of what my problem is with this. You know, the safety of our water has to be paramount. Think about everything you do for water. You use your water to cook for your family, to clean yourselves, to bathe, to water your lawn, to fill up, you know, like I did for my son today, fill up a swimming pool for him, you know? So it really rubbed me the wrong way to get that email sent out to the council, because if there was a concern, she easily could have picked up the phone and called me directly. So I'm off my soapbox. Welcome, Kathleen.
Hey, Jay, my apologies for being late.
Well, we've been waiting for you, so now we can get going. No,
Yeah.
no worries. We know it was a real early start, so I appreciate everything. All right, any discussion on the water and wastewater budget? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. I entertain a motion to approve the city's general government annual budget for fiscal year 2021.
Second.
Thank you. I'm not quite done yet. Give me one moment. The total 2021 requested $148,302. $302,100.42. The recommended for fiscal 2021 is $144,193,666.41. I am going to waive the reading of each line.
Second.
Thank you, Council Cobus. Do we have any discussion on this? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0. And folks, that is our budget. Okay. Now, before we wrap up, I'm going to also want to read the budget message into the record. And before I do, I just want to take a moment and recognize Councilor DeSimone, who took some time after our meeting, and she was able to really wordsmith and flush out, I think, some of the thoughts that we were looking to flush out a little bit. I think it's you did a really nice job, and I appreciate the assist on this one.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for letting me help.
All right, so just bear with me. This one will be a little bit. We'll read it, and then we'll take from there. All right, fiscal year 2021 budget. I entertain a motion to approve the following budget message for fiscal 2021. Dear Mayor Hero, the year 2020 is proving to be one of the most challenging periods in history. Across our city, state, and country, we face unprecedented disruptions in all areas of our lives. The consequences of these disruptions will likely reverberate for years to come in ways we cannot fully grasp. Locally, the crisis began on March 10th, 2020, with Governor Baker's declaration of a state of emergency, as increasing numbers of Massachusetts residents across the Commonwealth were being diagnosed with and began dying from COVID-19. As we know all too well, Attleboro was not spared from the virus, and we mourn the loss of our fellow residents. Brilliant for putting that in, and thank you, Kathleen. I think that was well done. Very classy. To lessen the spread of the coronavirus, Governor Baker implemented a statewide stay-at-home order on March 23rd, 2020. This order also impacted schools, churches, thousands of businesses, and all kind that were ordered to close and that chose to close due to a sudden and incalculable loss of customers. Too many syllables. Similar preventative measures were enacted by governors across the country, affecting people, family, and businesses in every state as millions of workers lost their jobs and businesses began to close permanently. The consequences of these losses are wide and deep, spreading across the country and ripping into the economic fabric of society. In many ways, these losses are felt most sharply close to home, and we, the residents of Massachusetts and Attleboro, are only beginning to understand the magnitude of our situation. In particular, with so many people either working from home or not working, With business closed and local restaurants only allowed to do curbside pickup or limited delivery, Attleboro has felt some of the, let's see, I think there's a typo. Attleboro has felt some of the economic impact in the marked decrease of local receipts. In light of these unique circumstances, the Municipal Council greatly appreciates the effort that you put into crafting the balanced budget presented on May 26, 2020. Moreover, we acknowledge that the proposed budget does not depend on the use of free cash, which is no small task considering the fiscal 20 budget utilized $1.2 million in free cash. We also wish to acknowledge and thank Jeremy Stahl, the new budget and administration director, for his work on preparing the budget, for his assistance to the council's budget and appropriations committee as it worked through an abridged budget process. The council also expresses sincere gratitude for the work of Barry Lacasse for his early work in this year's budget and for all of his hard work during his prior tenure with the city. City Auditor Deb Gould also deserves recognition for her expertise and guidance as financial advisor to the Municipal Council. Deb's professionalism and deep understanding of the challenges we face in the budget process, especially this year, have been paramount to the council's ability to pass the fiscal 2021 budget. This year, and we still got to get that number, marks the blank year in which the council has received a level funded budget. As you stated in your budget presentation, in a level funded budget, no department gets everything they requested, but only what is needed to continue to providing essential services to Attleboro residents. Because of COVID-19 and the related shutdowns of government offices and business, the council had less than 30 days in which to review and approve the budget. Over the course of the 2 weeks, beginning immediately after your submission of the budget to the council, the Budget and Appropriations Committee held approximately 9 budget meetings. During those meetings, the committee heard from the following departments: Police, Fire, DPW, Health, Parks and Forestry, Water, Wastewater, and Attleboro Public Schools. The council commends all of the department heads for their thoughtful presentations and frank discussions during these meetings. The economic consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic raised many concerns for the council, most notably the degree and extent to which the city revenues are and will be affected. The true impacts may not be known for some time, and this is obvious. This is an obvious cause for great trepidation when planning for our fiscal future. At the time of authorizing this budget message, local aid numbers from the state have not been finalized. Until we have a better understanding of state and federal appropriations, the Municipal Council will scrutinize all requests to determine if they are essential. There are several items the administration has requested in the fiscal 21 budget that the council fully supports but deems prudent to remove these items until we have a better understanding of what local aid will be. A cut is not a disagreement, particularly in these extraordinarily challenging and uncertain times. Each item cut with the caveat that once we have a clear picture of what local aid will be, the council has the full expectation of revisiting these items with the administration. Because it is a crucial public safety issue, the council supports the addition of a new MIS personnel member to work with the APD and AFD. The council applauds the administration for addressing the following from last year's budget message: zoo fees, indirect cost analysis, and funds from interest on construction borrowing. As for other items requested in last year's budget message, but as of yet not addressed, we respectfully ask you for an update. For fiscal 21, we make the following new requests. In the event we don't receive the expended funding from the Commonwealth, the council asks that the administration explore all cost-saving alternatives before using the stabilization account. Use of certified cash when appropriate, including recurring costs. Opt for furloughs early. Implement a hiring freeze. Encourage early retirement. Freeze step increases for future budgets. Enact a spending freeze on non-contractual items. No new authorizations for debt in fiscal 21. Explore options to consolidate departments. It is a priority of the council that we preserve the stabilization fund and have a limited appetite for utilizing the fund. We are not comfortable adding to this stabilization fund this year, but we are concerned about utilizing the fund such that it is not available for future years, as this pandemic and the economic downturn could last between fiscal 21. Improve financial reporting and transparency. We ask the administration comply with section 3-5 of the Attleboro Home Rule Charter and provide a complete report on the financial and administrative activities of the city within 6 weeks following the start of the fiscal year. Additionally, when submitting the upcoming year's budget, we ask that the administration provide the following information for each department, which will help the municipal council assess the budget for each department. Citywide goals and policy direction for upcoming fiscal year. Per department overall mission. Description of accomplishments for the previous year and outline the goals for the upcoming year. It is important to note in these trying times, this honorable body remains engaged as a cohesive municipal council. We are encouraged by the productive collaborations with the city auditor, the new director of budget and administration, and the mayor's office. We hope this dialogue continues during the unique challenges ahead. Clear and concise communication from every city department is needed, as is a strong commitment to constant and diligent prioritization of stated needs. Indeed, these are imperatives across all levels of our local government. Second, anyone?
Second.
Thank you. Councilor Conti.
I just have two things. One, it amazes me, it constantly amazes me how we sometimes forget to do what we're supposed to be doing out of the home rule charter. I think it's been a half a year since we've heard from the ARA, and we're supposed to hear from them every quarter. But I specifically question, I don't recall in the paragraph that says, because it's a crucial public safety issue, the council supports the addition of a new MIS personnel member to work with the APD and AFD. Did we decide that we were not going to support a safe dig team for the water and wastewater department?
I know I will not be supporting that position.
But I will be.
Okay.
And the mayor points it out as being a crucial public safety issue as well in his memo.
True. And I'm just trying to, I lost the page, but I do understand that. And my concern with that is they already have that position on staff. That position is in the job descriptions of the supervisors, and that is something that they're already getting paid to do. Well, that is
so did I miss something during that hearing? Is there cross training for safe dig?
For dig safe? No, they wanted. I'm not. I think there is through. They would have to send that person to training. I believe it's put on through dig safe. Council Kovas.
So I think we can talk about this more on Tuesday, but I also will not be supporting the dig safe position. And it was personally offended by the mayor that he referred to that as a safety concern. That he would insult all of us so the way dig safe works is you call it, obviously, you call into dig safe and they then call into all the different department or the different groups that are registered, and each group goes out and marks their corresponding things. So like Columbia Gas would go out and they mark the gas lines in yellow. The water department goes out, they mark the water lines in white. So that's the way dig safe works. But for the mayor in his email to say this is a safety issue, you need to fund it because of Torrey Street, which wouldn't have been prevented by this, because the water department goes out and they mark the water lines. So it has nothing to do with one another. It's not a safety issue. In addition, we already have somebody on staff that goes out and marks the water lines. So that the whole thing of just using the buzzword, it's a safety issue, to confuse the council and try to have us, I don't know, just vote for it to say, oh, we don't want to vote no on a safety issue, was concerning to me.
Yeah.
So I can discuss it more on Tuesday, but I won't be supportive of that.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm at ease now because you're both on that side and you're a majority in the committee. So I'm okay with the budget message the way it is.
Okay. Yeah, I think, and again, just before we move off the dig safe maybe down the road, that's something we look at if it's something that we can have a better case made for it. So, when one of my managers or district managers at work come up to me for something, I ask them, what's the business rationale? Give me the business rationale. I think right now, just like every other cut that we might, that this council could presumably make, it's not necessarily a disagreement. It's kind of a hit the pause, let's see what's coming in. This one, I think there's going to be more vehement disagreement for several reasons, but I'll talk more about that Tuesday night as well.
I'm good. I'm ready for a vote.
Oh. Any other questions? Kathleen, anything you want to add?
Can I just ask a question and forgive me?
Yeah, 100%.
So this committee, Jay, doesn't come out, or maybe I missed it because I did come late. Does this committee present a list of proposed cuts, or does everybody at Tuesday night's meeting, they can make whatever proposals they choose? Like, did I miss that part?
Yes.
Oh, so your committee doesn't propose.
It's a combination of both, right? So we've all sat through budgets, and I know Rick talked about, the budget where he had several recommended cuts. There's been other times that like we did this year, we had a full meeting talking about potential cuts.
Right.
Just so we can give Deb and Jeremy the time to help us out, because with every action, there's a reaction. With every cut, there's a reaction and there's an impact to the budget. So it helps, but I suspect Tuesday night, there'll be a list of cuts that people talked about through this process, and I'm sure that there'll be some that we haven't talked through.
I didn't know if this committee presented some kind of formal proposal or, cuts that it decided, but I guess not. Okay, forgive me.
No, it's a great question. It's your first budget, and again, you're coming in on one of the most challenging budgets that I remember seeing. So what'll happen is we talk about the cuts, and then we read the budget. So the budget's now read out of committee. There's one piece that we held that we can read Monday night or Tuesday if need be. But from there, whoever wants to make those cuts will make those cuts.
Okay. All right.
Council Blade and Council Cobus? Peter?
Yeah. Jay, getting on what Councilor DeSimone said, Monday night, will you be coming forward with some recommended cuts from your committee?
Yeah, we did that 2 weeks ago, a week ago.
Geez, I haven't missed anything, but I missed that, I guess.
No, it's all right. So Todd actually sent out, Todd was keeping notes. He sent out a document through Virginia with the proposed cuts. We can definitely 100% revisit those again.
I missed that. I will stop in Monday and see Virginia and get a copy.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yep. Council Cobus.
And the one thing I would suggest for Tuesday, when we're discussing the cuts before the full council, I would love to see each one of those cuts that we have be, have either you or somebody just go through those one at a time and allow there to be a discussion. I know some of them I'm not in favor of, but for full transparency and for democracy and all that, like I suggest we just walk right through each of them, vote them up and down, and that way everybody on the council knows which ones are coming, and we can just work through them that way, just as an easier process. And then if people have additional cuts, they can propose them, obviously.
Totally agree. Any other questions, comments, concerns on anything we discussed tonight?
Just a comment, Jay, if I might.
Of course, Peter.
I think the budget's pretty tight and there isn't an awful lot to cut. So I would hope Tuesday night would go fairly smooth and we don't nitpick on certain items, because I could go off the deep end and I don't want to.
I think we all could. Thank you, Peter. Todd.
Quick side note, the budget message, the next to last paragraph, the second bullet item, says per department overall mission description for the previous year and outline of goals for the upcoming year. There's a missing Oxford comma that should be there. And that's all.
You're a missing Oxford comma.
Yeah, Jay, I had 2 typos I had found too. I don't know if you found them in your copy, but there were 2 typos, which I can't remember right now, but I can send them to you if you would like.
Great.
Or is that too late?
You guys both just ruined the budget message. What was a great budget message?
Oh, sorry.
Oxford comma and typos.
Sorry.
No, absolutely no worries at all.
I applaud the way you've handled the budget this year.
Thank you.
Ditto.
Thank you, Rick.
I like to echo that, Jay. This year's extra unordinary. I think things are going real smooth. I commend all 3 of you on the budget committee. It seems that I've been there right along with you, and it's gone smooth. It's not contentious at all. And I appreciate the work all 3 of you have put in, and you, Kathleen, on your help.
Oh, thank you, Peter. I appreciate it. I learned a lot from you guys. Thank you for letting me sit in, and thank you for tolerating my many questions.
So a couple things. First of all, never, please ask the questions. You never know what you don't know. And, I've always believed the foolish questions, the one you don't ask. And your questions, Kathleen, were really, really pull back the layers, get in the weeds types of questions. And I just think about the email you sent to Owen Bebo. That's really strong stuff. And that's the type of dialogue that we need to have. And Peter, don't sell yourself short, because, you've been here every single budget hearing, every single budget meeting. You've brought your experience, you've brought your point of view. It's been amazing. But what I do need to say is to Todd and Rick, this is our 3rd year on this committee, and the work that you guys put in is amazing. The dialogue that the 3 of us, this has been fun, challenging, stressful. It's been fun. And, Rick, I think you hit the nail on the head on Monday night. Was it Monday night? Wednesday night. Days are running together. But when you said that there is no political undertones with this council, it's, you brought up the dig safe. You're going to support it, There was no, it was great. I like dialogue. I like, even the other night, Tuesday night, the meeting with President Cooper, and there were a couple different things. My mind was changed on the floor. Very few times can I remember that happening. The dialogue of this council and this committee, especially, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. We've got challenges ahead. Tuesday night, it will be a challenge. It always is on a normal budget. And then with everything we're dealing with, it'll be a lot. But I think that we're all coming from the right place. We all have the same end goal in mind. So to my committee members, I cannot thank you enough.
Well, thank you. What time is Monday's night's meeting?
6 o'clock.
Okay, I'll be there.
All right. And that being said, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
1 second. Do we approve the budget message?
Yeah, we voted, and we can vote it. We did, right?
Let's do it again.
All those in favor of the budget?
Aye.
It's approved 3-0. And now I entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
You're adjourned at 5:49. All right. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you Monday night.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you bet.
everyone. Have a
Be
good
there.
weekend.
Thank you.
You too.
Take care.
Thanks.
Tim. Thank you.
Thank you all.